Hello, hello. Welcome to the Squirrel Circus podcast. I'm the Rainbow Squirrel, and today I'm joined by my co-host Ian and Andy the Moss Guardian. Say hi, guys.
Hello, hello, hello,
Good
hello.
morning.
Yet
And today,
one more time.
after long last, we're going to talk about Pink Floyd's The Wall, the movie, the
Wow.
album, the whole thing. We're going to be analyzing as best we can. When it comes to this, Ian is much more, much more of
Expert.
an expert than than me,
Big fan.
or probably than
Massive
Andy as
fan. I'm
well.
excited about this
No,
one. Yeah.
So,
but you guys have it more fresh. I think I watched it like a long time ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. I watched it, so
Okay, but
yeah,
you've heard me yap about it so much.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it's
yeah. We can all
the
contribute something. Let's get on with it.
let's start with you, Ian. Like, what are the main takeaways from this movie,
Let's
this album?
first say what it is. It's a movie by the band Pink Floyd. The movie came out in 83, the year 83, 1983.
Mhm.
And it is a movie that entails it's not a musical per se, but it has
It's
it's not a
I
musical
would
in the
say it's
classic musical sense. Like the
yeah. I mean
protagonist
that's not
doesn't
a
sing.
it's not
The
a
protagonist doesn't
yeah.
sing, and the music just kind of accompanies the plot, right? So
Yeah.
the
It's a
songs
it's a
are
rock
about what is
opera.
happening.
That's what it's called, a rock opera.
Rock
It's
opera.
a
Okay.
it's a story based on a on a lyrical piece. It's based on the album that was released a few years before, The Wall, Pink Floyd, The Wall. Is it was it 1979? I think The Wall was 1979, and the film came out in 1983, I think. And yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one because it's a I mean, originally the album which came out first and which was like the big thing because I mean it's Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd are known mainly for their music and for their like crazy good conceptual albums. Like before The Wall, they had already dropped The Dark Side of the Moon. They had already dropped Animals. They had all which are all like very politically commenting conceptual albums. And so the wall, I think, is like the maximum expression of this side of Pink Floyd, and it's it's funny where it was born. I'm gonna tell like the quick story of how the wall was born.
Spoiler, this is a spoilers. This is a video about all the spoilers, okay? So if you haven't watched it, watch it
Spoiler:
now
this shit's
and
been
then
out
come
for
back.
fucking 50 years. If you haven't watched this shit in 50
No, but
years,
like
you it
younger
doesn't know
people are
who the
definitely
fuck
did
is.
not definitely not watch it yet. I mean,
I mean, I
I don't
agree with
know.
the take that you can't spoil films after they're old enough. Like,
But
Yeah,
either way, if you just found out that this movie exists, watch it and then watch this video just in case. Okay, I just wanted to put it out
imagine if
there.
we analyzed the Avengers and we were like, hold on, spoilers for the first Avengers movie.
I don't see what that's wrong.
Well, we'll agree to
nah,
disagree.
yeah, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. Nah. And so, where does the idea of the wall come from? The idea comes from I think the Pink Floyd were touring Animals, their album, their previous album Animals, and it was a point where their music was already like pretty complex, and I mean Pink Floyd has always been like there for the craft and for the music and for the art,
I'm very
and
strongly
so
opinionated.
this focus that they needed, they actually started to need like wearing headphones on live shows to be able to coordinate all the visuals and all the music, and this felt like they were kind of at least the audience and the fans kind of felt like the band wasn't engaging enough, and it was, and they themselves kind of felt like they were kind of getting not getting that connection with the audience. The audience wasn't getting what the band was actually trying to transmit. It was a very like rock and roll audience, you know. Pink Floyd is a rock and roll band, which I feel like the members of Pink Floyd like never really wanted their band to become that, you know. And so there is this one occasion where they were touring the Animals album, and a fan was like very accelerated, just started like climbing on the stage, and Roger Waters just spat on his face. Just
How's that for connection?
Ew.
And at that moment, I mean, this is what this is the story that he tells. In that moment, he imagined for the first time the idea of the wall, of building a wall between the band and the audience, so that the band can like just focus on the music and kind of leave the audience to do whatever the fuck they want without this like clash between ideas and between like the culture of the rock and roll audience and the idea that and the concept that the band was pursuing. And so it took him like a year to write all the demos for the wall, and write all the story, and write like the whole concept. He just got got isolated in his room for a year, and it came out. And it came out so good that it also became a movie, right? And
Yeah.
that is where the wall is born. And so, what does the wall explore? I think it explores, where should we start? Where should we start?
Well,
Because it's a deep
maybe,
one. It goes through a lot of themes and a lot of.
let's see. I have an idea. We
Mm-hmm.
can walk through my notes, and you tell me which parts make
Okay.
sense and which parts are absolute bullshit.
Spoiler
Okay.
alert,
Okay.
every part is
Please.
gonna make sense.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
The movie presents an equivalence between wartime struggles and the struggles of resistance against fascism, which is neither entirely inappropriate nor entirely accurate. That's one note I took. That was my first note.
Yeah.
I think I know too little about fascism and wars to be
And if
able
you
to
want to
say
learn
that
more about fascism, stay tuned for our next episode. Ba, 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 ba.
Mm-hmm. We're
that.
gonna go really in depth. I mean, this is just the warm up. This is just the warm up. I
Okay.
mean, we're gonna be talking a lot about fascism
Yeah.
in this one too. But I think that's true. I think that's true. I mean, especially towards the kind of the end of the development of the character, which, funnily enough, the character is called Pink Floyd, right? Pinkerton Floyd,
Pink check.
and Pinky Floyd. That's
Pinky.
um, yeah. I mean, it seems like the whole story of this guy culminates into him becoming a fascist. You know, one way or another. I mean, we're gonna explore all the things that kind of take him to becoming like this fascist leader. And
Hmm.
the part of war, I'm not sure what is it. I don't know if it's supposed to be based on. I think it's supposed to be based on the First World War, right? It seems to be. It seems to be. If I'm not wrong, I think Roger Waters has talked about it. Roger Waters' dad actually died in war, and he and the Waters like never got to meet his dad, which is interesting. It's an interesting parallelism between the story of of Pink Floyd from the Wall
It's
and
definitely
Roger
self-insert. It
Waters.
definitely has a lot of self-insert, I think.
Yeah, it does, and the Roger Waters he's very big on anti-war protest. You know, he's constantly, always throughout the whole history of his career, he has
Of Twitter.
always
His whole
written
history of
and
Twitter.
I mean, that's been a late amusement, but yeah, even some of the first songs that he ever wrote for the Pink Floyd were like anti-war, um anti-war protest, and so I feel like this story, the story that he explores, and the wall kind of really dives deep into the reason on why he is so against war and the understanding that he has of why war begins, right? And why war kind of causes the pain that makes more war, and why war is like the birth of fascism, and fascism is a reason for war, and war is a reason for fascism. There is kind of like a roundness there, I feel. um
I think the biggest question I have
yeah.
that sometimes I know the answer, sometimes I don't, is like what does a wall represent exactly? I don't think there's one symbolism. I think there's like multiple around throughout the whole plot, no? It always kind of says something different about the wall, or
I
I don't
think
know.
no,
And I wasn't being
there is one general idea for the wall, and it's there are three songs that talk about the bricks in the wall, right?
Mhm,
And these three songs are kind of placed in three different parts of the album. The first two are, but they're kind of in the first half of the album, and it's kind of explaining of what the wall is built of. And the bricks in the wall are these events that happen in 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 in, in the life of the character, right? So you have, for example, the overprotective mother, right? Does not have a dad, and he grows up with just with his mother, and his mother is overprotective, and that causes him to be insecure, and to for the
mhm,
rest of his life need this safety of the mother's wing, you know. And he kind of looks for it in eventually in his relationship, right? And he does not find it.
mhm,
And this is one of the bricks, right? And then another brick might be the father, you know, the absent father. You know, the absent father is, I don't know, in Freudian idea what, because this is a very Freudian story. There is a lot of Freud in this story, but the father kind of represents the authority and the security, right? The masculine figure is the being able to take your life into your hands and take control of it, and he does not have that. You know, he that's another break, and it's all these events that represent breaks that he starts using to build a wall around him. Right at the end of the film, we can see how the wall just kind of goes around him, and he becomes isolated inside this circular wall where everything else in the world is just left outside, and he just goes into complete isolation. And the wall
mhm.
is are these things that make him want to, that alienate him, basically.
Okay.
Right? And eventually you can take like some specific songs and you can give the wall a different meaning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the wall has been widely taken as a symbol of the actual Berlin Wall, right? Like you get some songs of you, you can kind of argue that it seems to be a symbol that kind of just transcends and might take different forms and different times, but the main idea is that is a wall
Okay.
between the self and the world outside.
And when they say tear down the wall, what does that represent?
I think that
That's not
becomes a bit more
healing. That's
abstract,
just
right?
I think that's going through a point because when you have a wall, when you have these situations that make you like put on spikes, right? So reject the world. that has to do with trauma, right?
Yeah.
When you can like at least feel the wall, you can see it. You can maybe work for an entrance or a door, you know? But if you tear down the wall, then you cannot heal. You reject the
I don't know.
ability
I
to
think to discuss this, we kind of need to talk a bit more about what the wall is made of, right? Because I just gave a few examples, but I think we should go a bit more in
Yeah,
depth into it and understand. Yeah.
I had a different interpretation
Oh,
go ahead.
okay, okay,
because I was very much looking at it through the lens of um, warm up for fascism.
Okay.
okay, okay.
Bricks in the wall is precisely the fascist conception of the individual's ontological role within society. I should read them from over here because that way the mic makes it better. Um, in a fascist society, uh,
Uh-huh.
everything is part of the same body, the same corpus, the same
Hmm.
bundle of sticks, and every individual is just
Yes.
one more stick in the bundle, another brick in the wall. What do you think of that interpretation?
I think it it does make sense. It does make sense. Uh,
But it's not the only one. Like there's a bunch of different interpretations
Yeah,
of the
no,
wall
Yeah.
and
that are accurate.
throughout different parts of the album, you can interpret the wall as very different things. Yeah, I think it's a very good interpretation, especially towards the like second half of the album. I think it makes a lot of sense that the wall would be that. I think it also helps that the story is presented in such a non-linear way, right? So certain moments you don't know when in the story of Pink Floyd are really happening. You don't know if that the moment where he has become a full blown fascist is a moment he has built the complete wall, right? Or if the complete wall kind of comes after he has become a fascist and he has gotten that power. I think any interpretation is right, really. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
but that's interesting. That's interesting. Um, I think we could kind of go through the parts of the album to kind of explore them more in depth. Uh,
Yes, yes. Like
I think,
there was there's this moment near the beginning of the movie where the
hmm
Kid Pink is putting
yeah,
on the uniform and he's playing with the warplane
oh yeah,
and doing all of this stuff. So
yeah.
I wrote,
That's uh-huh.
it's natural for young boys to romanticize war without being able to comprehend the depth of its horrors. I think that
Yeah.
happens a lot, even
It
nowadays.
happens a lot. It definitely happens a
it
lot, and
does.
it's interesting how it is even also used as a way to shape a boy's mind, right? In certain cultures,
Mm.
it's I mean, you can see in the context of the wall, it's Britain, right? It's like the early 20th century Britain, and it's a war-induced Britain where all the men are in the battlefront, right? And all the children and the women are the ones who stay back home, right? And so there is definitely this. I mean, you can see this kind of as a criticism to the cultural view of war, right? It is well seen for children to play with military toys, right? Because it's what the country has to stand for at the moment. It's just a country that is in war and needs its population to see war as just one more part of life, right? As one more part of the game. And it's interesting. I have an interesting story. I I am half Russian, right? My mom is from Russia, and I have traveled to Russia a few times to see my family, right? To visit family, and um, the last time I went to Russia was, I think, like a year ago, and we wanted to buy a toy for my little cousin. So we went to this Russian toy store, right? And we wanted to buy like some creative toy, right? Like Lego or something, like something smart. So we go to the Lego section. And I mean, first of all, nothing is actual Lego, nothing is actual Lego brand because it's like the Russian equivalent for Lego because of the shit that's happening
Rego.
yeah,
Rego.
Rego or something like that. Yeah. But it was interesting that all the sets had this. It, do you know the Lego City concept, right? The old classic Lego City concept. They have a similar, like a Lego City concept, but about war, where all the things that you build, right? The little cars that you build, and the airplanes, and the buildings, and the little the characters that you get in the set are all military, which is very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting, right? I mean, if you tie it back to the film, there's definitely like a big criticism regarding that. Um, it's a cultural thing. It's yeah, children. I mean, children are completely oblivious of what, like you say, the crude reality of the games they're actually playing, and yeah, and I guess we do see kind of an evolution of this, right? Because later in the movie, this is around another break in the wall part one, right? But then after this, he goes, he appears as like a few years later, right? He's already like I don't know. He seems like a what 15, 14 year old, and he comes back from school, right? I think, and his mom is not home, so he goes into his mom's room and opens a drawer where all his dad's stuff is, right? You have the uniform, and you have the like it's all military stuff, and you have like a box with bullets, and you have and he puts a uniform on, right? Like this symbolizing this notion of who his father was, right? It's like a notion that he is building from a childhood of what war is, and connecting it with his father, and that is definitely like a big brick in the wall, I feel. um I don't know how the evolution of this really takes to no good. I think it's very clear. I think it's very, very clear. I don't know.
That
Yeah, that's what I
takes me
think about
to
that.
sort of another possible interpretation of the wall that I got while researching, trying to tie it to um, Jungian psychoanalysis,
Okay.
that
Okay.
the wall can be interpreted as Pink's persona, which is so solidified that it, or not necessarily Pink's persona, but the distance or the barrier between his persona and his ego and his inner self. And it's become so rigid. There's no flow of anything between his persona and his inner self, which leads to two things. One, his constant state of disassociation, like when a girl is trying to get his attention, when anyone is trying to get his attention,
Hmm.
he just sits and stares. Like,
Yeah.
that's one thing. And then on the other side of the persona, on the inside, all of the emotional repression, and the different sorts of traumas with the absence of his father, the betrayal of his wife, the dependence, sick dependence that he had upon his mother, all of that festers and turns into this fascistic shadow, which, because it is completely contained and unintegrated with the persona and the rest of the ego, simply bursts out in what could be considered a hallucination, or even if it's not considered a hallucination,
Hmm.
it's still a manifestation of complete psychosis. Does
Yeah,
that seem right?
I think it seems very, very right. It seems like this state of isolation, of ego, like of ego isolation, because it feels like all these events and all the breaks are kind of like part of a very a deep part of him. It's something that he can't get rid of, and that he doesn't have control of, and he kind of just suppresses all of this inside the wall, and he finds the freedom in this isolation to kind of become whatever outside, right? Whatever he wants,
Mm.
and build whatever he wants from himself, like on the outside. The persona, he gets this freedom to build a persona from this like very, very corrupt, uh very fucked up seed.
Mm.
But there I have a question. Is it what he wants, or is it what the darkest, festering part of him wants?
Oh, it's definitely what the darkest part of him wants, because he does talk about he wants to go home. He wants all of this to stop, right? He has a strong urge to fly, but he has nowhere to fly to, right? So he has these things that he really wants to do. He has this, but he, because of how his life has been kind of
Building this
constructed and
wall, like,
building,
yeah,
he just has nowhere to fly to. He has isolated himself from, he's betrayed his mother, he abandoned his wife, he has no
literally
reason to go
the
back
only
home. He
the only time he has felt relief or at least peace has been inside the wall, has been like isolating
and
himself.
not even
And not even exactly. And he
not
has
even.
tried too. Like he tried having a girlfriend, but just couldn't.
It's, I think, another. Yeah, I guess you can tie this to. I mean, the last time I watched the film, which was today in the morning, I tied it to what we have been talking about lately, and I have been tying it to Gnosticism, and I've been tying it to the Demiurge, and I've been tying it to. I I think these things can be tied. I'm gonna tell you how I have interpreted lately, and see if we can tie our ideas. And it's what I feel, the place where I feel the fascism of Pink is born is, I mean, I don't know how this, I mean, he seems to be like this rejected piece of society, right? And he seems to be this, I mean, he's alienated. He is, the time that he has free, he just spends in his room, just rotting away on television that he's not even really like watching, and drugs, and isolation. that's where I was saying that he gets the opportunity and the freedom to kind of build uh, something for himself, right? Something where things don't have to repeat themselves, right? And he becomes this demiurge the type character where he, after all this like complete breakdown, after his breakdown, he is reborn during comfortably numb, right? Whereas like
Mm.
the point where he just becomes completely catatonic, and he's just, and his managers need him to come out of his room because he has a show to play, right? And so they just break into his room. They find him like completely catatonic, and they just inject adrenaline into him to wake him the fuck up so that he can play the show. And at that moment, when he is on the car, there is like this scene where he starts like getting this like latex cocoon thing that he starts like tearing off his face, right? It's like he is metamorphosizing into this demiurge character where he finds this opportunity to make the world what he wants through the through the through the influence that he has as a rock star and as a musician, right? And so he comes into the show and he starts a song, which is a song that the album opens with, in the flesh, right? It's like this theatrical opening to the whole story.
Oh
But
yeah,
he
no,
but he but he sings it differently to the beginning of the album. He says, you, I don't know, something like, I know you were expecting Pink on the stage tonight, but he is ill. He stayed back at the hotel and he sent us as a surrogate band, right? And he goes like, let's see where you fans really stand. And he starts like all this fascist movement and goes like, any queers against the wall, any Jews against the wall, anyone who has spots and go against the wall, right? And begins this like crazy riot. And it seems to me like he finds that the only way to stop this whatever, like everything that has happened to him from happening again, is getting rid of all the difference in the world. Why? Because difference is what creates wars, right? Difference is what creates
conflict.
conflict, and what created in the heart his whole problem, right? It all starts with this war-induced country and this war-induced society. And so if he is able to get, it's kind of what Hitler did, and that's like the and so
I think we
I
can
don't
tie
know.
that very, very well to a classic Gnostic idea. I think the sort of connection that the wall has with Gnosticism is very different from the connection
It
that
is.
K through 12 has with Gnosticism. Because in K through 12, it's this very overt, we are inside of the Gnostic structure and we have to break free from it. I
Hmm.
think in the way that you're describing uh, Pink's transformation into a demiurge-like figure, there is a pattern, an archetypal pattern that was explained by the Gnostic framework very well. The reason why the demiurge is a fucked up creation that doesn't fit inside, let's say, the walls of the pleroma
Hmm.
is because he was created without a pair. What do I mean? Sophia created him alone without, let's say, mating with another one of
Yeah.
the aeons within the pleroma. So
Okay.
Sophia became like a sort of devouring mother,
Oh, and that makes
which,
so much sense. That makes so much sense.
yeah, it inevitably made the demiurge this
Yeah.
flawed, incomplete, uh, unfit for existence sort of creature. that in order to make, rather than trying to make itself fit for existence, try to
Hmm.
make an existence fit for itself, which wasn't fit for anybody within that existence. I think
Yeah.
that that ties in very, very well when it comes to the archetypal layout you're
It
describing.
ties very, very darn well because there is also this other very, very, very important factor that we haven't mentioned. That it's this constant search for a connection to another living being, right? A connection that he is just not able to find, and he looks for it, right? He looks for it, and that's the symbol of the rat, right? I mean, as a child, right? He's looking for a connection. The only connection that he has is with his overprotective mother, right? That's the only notion he has of what a connection to another human or another thing can be, right? A caretaking figure and a weak figure, right? This is like the notion that he has of what a
Of
connection is.
connection, yeah.
And so he doesn't find this connection as a child. There's this one scene where there's like a ball, right? And he's just sitting and he's seeing his mom dance with I don't know. I think it was like the doctor or something. And then on the other side, there's this girl that is like a lot older than him, right? And he just gets up and invites this girl to dance, and she's like so much taller than him. It's very funny, you know. That's where you start seeing like this look for a connection that kind of doesn't make sense, and it gets to the point where this looking for a connection kind of starts demigrating, right? And there is a point where the last like hope of connection he has is with this rat that he finds. It's a deceased rat, right? This unwanted animal, this filthy unwanted animal that seems to also need this connection, right? It's the only place where he seems this possible connection like viable. So he takes a rat and takes him to his mom, right? And his mom's just like, fuck no, that's disgusting. He tries to take care of it, but the rat dies. You know, he tries to kind of take that caretaking position, but it doesn't work for him either, right? And eventually you see it with his wife, right? He also looks for this connection with his wife, but he just can't, right? Because he just lives in this like catatonic and empty state of mind where, and that's also a big part of the wall. I think the thing of building a wall around you, right? It's maybe it's not that he is building a wall and placing the bricks, is more like a wall is building around him, where he feels like a wall is building around him, or where that kind of naturally stops him from making any kind of human connection. And so is he isolated because he wants to, or is he isolated because that's where life has taken him, right? I don't know. But I mean, it definitely ties to this, right? This demiurge figure that was created without a partner, right? There's a one single figure that needs a partner but does not have it,
And
right?
one thing, not only does the demiurge itself not have a partner, the creation of the demiurge, like in the pleroma,
Oh yeah,
all things are meant to be created through pairings. So this aeon gets with this aeon, and boom, they create something new.
yeah,
Sophia tried creating something on her own, and that's why the
yeah.
demiurge turned out so fucked up. It's that
Mm.
absence of the paternal uh,
Fuck.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
complement
that's also yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
that
And I mean, if if the dad was there, the notion of the connection for Pink would be very different, right? It
very.
would it would have built itself in a different way, and it would have definitely avoided the whole wall
This is
from
the
from
wall.
from.
This is the wall.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
That's the wall. In all its senses.
And then,
His star person gone wrong is
yeah,
Very
basically.
you're writing
sensitive.
poems? This is crap.
And that's also very interesting tied to K through 12. It seems like the wall kind of takes K through 12 and just makes it like a little part of the whole thing, right? It's the whole school thing, the
Mm.
Yeah, I think
from the happiest
Crybaby.
days of our lives and another brick in the wall is that's like K through 12 within the wall kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like,
If you
can you
haven't watched
imagine
that
if
video, if you
Crybaby
haven't
had
watched
met?
that video, then
Yes,
go and
please
watch
go
it.
watch our K through 12 video. Can you guys imagine if Crybaby and Pink would have met at some
Oh
point in
shit.
school? That would have been fucking insane.
That would have
She would
been
have been like, "Oh,
insane.
he's an empath too. He has powers like us." That would have been crazy. That would be a crazy crossover. Someone should make that happen.
Yeah, that's so true, and it's so parallel. It would definitely work out so well because I mean, in the wall in the film, they also end up destroying the school, which is it's. I mean,
They go
it's
through
a
with
very
the
strong
burning it
parallel.
down plan.
Yeah. Oh, and having another brick in the wall part two in the background, the epic guitar solo as they trash and burn down the fucking school. It's so masterful. It's so masterful. Um, yeah, we can get to the craft of the album a bit later if there is no other comments.
I mean, I wanted to get into something you were saying earlier, which is this
Uh-huh.
development of the relationship between uh, war and fascism. I
Oh
think
yeah.
there's a scene near the very beginning of the movie that shows it very, very well. There's this dove, and it gets scared away by a cat. So the spirit of innocence, the dove, is corrupted by fear, allowing it to be replaced by the predatory and death-loving spirit of authoritarianism, the fascist iron eagle. The spirit of fascism, in turn, brings forth war and all of its horrors, mainly terror and mass death. War is a waste of blood. War is a waste of life.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's "Goodbye Blue Sky," right? I think that's the song. It's this animation that they put in where
Yes,
you have the dove and it turns into this crazy like raven like war machine, and
it's an
it'll
eagle.
become
It's an iron
it's
eagle.
an eagle, an iron eagle. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it is.
That's like
And
the fascist, well, one of the fascist symbols.
yeah,
Well, didn't know that. Also,
yeah,
the animation on the
the
movie is
animations are so
amazing.
good,
It's amazing.
so
It's amazing.
completely hand drawn
Yeah, like
everything, and it's
s-
who
um,
made the animation. I gotta really give a shout out to the guy who made the animations because
They put it in the
uh
credits. I had it
no, definitely.
I had it somewhere around here. God damn it, I closed YouTube.
um Gerald Scarf. Shout out to Gerald Scarf. Fucking master. Insane master. Yeah, no, the animations from this movie
Only
are
one guy, or was he like the
I mean, he
director?
definitely had some animators and some help.
Okay.
Yeah,
He is, yeah, I don't know.
it's so disturbing, the style of it. It's so like,
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing. It's
oh,
amazing.
yeah, how he makes these characters that kind of just morph and it just the ability he has to morph something into something else.
No, it's
The
crazy. It's
dance of the
crazy.
flowers, right? The masculine and the feminine flower, where they're just kind of morphing into rats, and then they just attack each other, and then they just become this like
It's ca- I
copulating
can
organism, and then they just separate again, and it just like grab. No, it's so fucking amazing. It's no, I'm passionate about this shit, but
I can
uh,
imagine perfectly well what was happening while animating because back then they animated on they had two different ways to animate. Like one was like one shot after the other, and the other one was doing the first like the key poses, right? So they do like one pose and then the final pose and then they filled the in-betweens, right? But the other way of animating is they start with one pose and they go slowly until they reach the second pose. And that was what is happening with here, right? He just started one and he just started imagining. And I remind you guys, this is probably done in 12 frames per second. So he had 12 pictures every second,
per second. That's
if not
insane.
24. Like I don't think 24 because that's crazy.
Yeah,
It
But
looked
12
like 12.
frames per second.
it looks
Yeah,
like yeah,
12,
but
like that's still insane. Like the possibilities you can go with one line. Like 12 pictures of that one line can go like
yeah.
it's crazy. That's why I know exactly what the fun of animating that or maybe not. Maybe he was pressured, but it's
That
amazing. It's still amazing.
that's
It's still
insane. That's
amazing.
insane. Yeah.
The absolute horror of animating. Some of the frames are like, well, who came up with this? This is a horror
Uh,
movie now.
It is. It totally is. Yeah.
it
Again, near
expresses
the beginning,
exactly what it
when
has to.
when like the war breaks out and all of the crosses start appearing, you just see a
Yeah.
guy like in fetal position with a gas
Yeah.
mask
He's
on.
just
Like, huh?
yeah. Just
Wait,
all yeah.
what the fuck? Who
I
came
need to
up with
rewatch
that?
it. I need to rewatch the wall, man.
And then the
Oh,
way he depicts all the characters towards the end for the trial, the song of the trial, where he draws all the characters that are part of
the
of
wall.
that are the bricks, right? And are
Yeah.
the in the
It's amazing. It's
it's,
amazing.
The
it's
forces within the subconscious that are driving him mad
yeah,
because of the wall.
Hmm.
the feeling that he is being judged, right? By his mother and by his wife and by his teacher and by when all of this is just happening inside of him. Really, he is judging himself. Right,
Yeah.
this judgment is it's, and I think that kind of
The
ties
trial.
to the last song of the album, the song that kind of concludes everything. It's like um let me find the lyrics for that. Yeah, all alone or in twos, the ones who really love you, the ones who really love you, walk up and down outside the wall. Some hand in hand, some gathered together in bands. The bleeding hearts and the artists make their stand. And when they've given you their all, some stagger and fall. After all, it's not easy. Banging your heart against some mad bugger's wall. Right? That really stuck with me. The first time I really like focused on the lyrics on the credit song. It's that, right, that it's all self-induced, right? It's all this cruel reality that this character is living is completely, I mean, it's not completely self-induced. Obviously the breaks in the wall are things that he had no control over and that are building his consciousness in a very fucked up way, but it's
I don't think it's self-induced at all.
the guilt that he feels, right? The guilt that he feels towards leaving his mother, towards being towards being who he was in school, right? Being this, I mean, he wasn't even a bad kid, you know, he was just a bleeding heart. He was a poet. And he got
Mm.
mocked by the demiurge because of it, right? And he feels guilty for it, right? But
Well,
he
by an
takes all the
archon,
fault of it.
just to keep it super precise with the Gnostic framework, by an archon, not
By an
necessarily by
archon, would you say that's the archon? Yeah, it's yeah,
What is the
that's
archon?
true. It's
the
the
archons are enforcers of the demiurge.
mhm,
So it's like if the school,
Eye people.
it's like in K through 12, the Canoma is the school,
yeah,
and whoever designed the school and its systems is the demiurge, and the teachers and the enforcers of that system are the archons.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and that song though, "The Happiest Days of Our Lives." That's so good. The teacher song, but yeah. Um, what other interesting point is there to cover?
Tear down the wall.
Tear
Tear
down the
down the
wall.
wall.
I think that's interesting. What does that represent? The tearing down the wall, the exposing yourself,
Violence.
the is
You're
that
not going back.
Like,
is that
I I understood that as one thing when I was watching it, but now after this conversation, I understand
What
it
did you
as something
initially
completely.
understand? Initially.
The film depicts the instinct to rebel against rigid systems through destruction as natural, desirable, or even heroic. That was my first impression.
or even heroic?
But I've changed my mind. I don't think that's what the film is doing.
I don't know. What do you think now? What
I
do you
think I
think
don't
now?
understand. It's too many big words. Can you please read it again?
My brain is not braining.
Uh, Now, I think that what the film is trying to say is that you need to break a wall at a psychological level. And the wall at like the simplest way to say it is emotional repression. You need to get rid of that emotional repression because that's the Freudian part.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you repress, it's gonna come back to bite you and it's gonna come back with a vengeance. If you don't repress, if you allow yourself to genuinely feel things and express
hmm
those emotions, then you most likely won't explode and you'll be able to navigate the world without so much self-inflicted suffering.
Hmm. But look at the timing. Look at the timing of the song, right? It goes at the very end, no? It's like it's when when Floyd is the leader of this like fascist kind of movement, no? Why would
But
he tear down the wall there and then? Like after he has so much power. What does
I
that
think
mean?
I think the non-linear structure of the whole album and the whole story kind of makes it
Oh, maybe it's
easier
a
to not see
conclusion.
it as the end of
Yeah.
Pink, but more
It's a
as
conclusion of
yeah.
the movie.
The
Even
conclusion
even
it's I think
after,
it's a
sorry.
no, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
No, no, you first.
I think there are two conclusions to this movie. There is the moral conclusion, which is the trial,
Okay.
right? Which is the representation of the idea of what should be done with the wall to avoid what happened with Pink, right? And then there
Okay.
is the real conclusion, and it ends with the children kind of scavenging through the through the ruins and through the grovel of the destruction, right? And kind of not understanding what it is, right? And at this point, I mean, this is something that they don't include in the movie, but they do include in the album. And the album, the last song, the Outside the Wall, has the same melody, like the same like trumpety melody as the beginning. Like you can kind of tie the end of the album to the beginning of the album. And
Beninging.
the way they show it in the film is these kids again, like kind of and playing in the grovel, and this
I'm
child
sorry.
just grabs like the Molotov bomb, and
Yeah.
doesn't understand what it is, and he smells it and he's
God.
like, yuck, what is this? And he just
No.
a new beginning for the same story, right? And it's I mean, I think those are the two conclusions kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think we can really see even before the trial that this fascist persona that Floyd has built for himself is failing entirely. Because even with all that apparent power, he's still sitting in a bathroom stall, like
Oh
biting
yeah.
his thumb,
Mm-hmm.
reciting simple poetry that he's writing for himself. So the the deepest longing is still that emotional expression that he was unable to achieve.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the fact that the wall is tangible, something tangible, and if you destroy it, you can't access it any longer, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we. I mean, you could. That makes
There are
sense.
many interpretations. I think there's many
Like as a
interpretations.
breaking down of the wall becoming this fascist symbol, and just being completely just
I don't think
giving
there's one
yourself
meaning.
completely to this thing, and
Yeah.
not being able to escape from it anymore. You have already gone too far and you cannot go back, right? You have I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's like one intended meaning. I think it's like what we did in our short film, Ian. What we did in our short film is like there's no
Oh yeah.
intended one meaning. Like there's many. It's kind of subconscious, it's the feeling
It's
about it.
pretty abstract. It's very abstract.
Yeah. I
I
feel like
think there the majority of the things that are in the album and in the story do have like an intended meaning, but as a whole, like the whole collection put into one thing, yeah, I think it's very abstract and it's very
check out our short
open to
film,
an
by the way.
interpretation. Oh yeah,
That
shout
will
out
be
to
linked in
Dorian
the description as
Esposito.
well.
Please do. Yeah, no, we need more views on that. Um, and what else? What else?
Go watch the movie, figure it out by yourselves. I believe in you. You
Yes,
can
sir.
have an opinion about this too.
Those
Yeah,
are
it's one of those.
our plugs
That's what
for
I
the day.
was. Yeah, that's what I was telling to the Rainbow Scroll. It's one of those films you can watch just so many times and still find like these Easter eggs and these hidden symbols and these hidden connections for that tie the beginning to the end in such a well thought way, in such a masterful way. And the artistry and the craft behind this fucking masterpiece, it's just insane.
AI could never.
It's insane. It's insane. The lyricism, the imagery, the animations, the concept, the story, the original way in which Waters ties all the elements of the story into from in a non-linear thing into a very understandable final idea. It's very good.
simultaneously super original and super archetypal.
Extremely, extremely, yeah, very much is. And I could, I want to end with a few fun facts about it.
Okay,
I
go.
think that would be a good ending to the podcast. But when they toured the wall, interestingly enough, they did build a wall between themselves playing and the audience. And so for more than half the show, the audience, the only thing they would be able to look at is just the blank wall, like like the wall with the bricks, which is very hilarious. Um, Another thing, there are a lot of like very real things. There is one scene where he's trying to reach back, to call his wife, right? He's trying to call back home. He's in the United States, and he's calling back to the UK, right? And he's trying to reach his house, and there is this how what's the name of the like the telephone connectors, international, like the telefonista, the gal that connects the international calls. That you, I think, I mean,
I can
in the
picture what
past,
you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
I don't know
The
in the
either.
girls with the
past, yeah, I mean,
cables.
I'll just explain like the role of this. In the past, when you had to like call through analog through analog phones, yeah, basically, you would have to call this service, this person, and tell them who you want to connect internationally, and then this person would connect you and would connect the call, right? And so to do this call, well, the story goes, he calls, and on the other side of the line, his wife is sleeping with another guy, right? She's cheating on him, and so the guy is the one who answers, right? And when he listens, from Mr.
He's
Floyd
busy,
to
little bro.
Mrs. Floyd, from Mr. Floyd to Mrs. Floyd, he just hangs up, right? And the telephone guy, the gal, just goes like, I don't know, there is someone answering, but it seems to be a man, and he just keeps hanging up. And it's funny because they did actually do this call, and they did actually pull the prank on the telephone girl, right? And the like the Mr. Floyd calling Mrs. Floyd from the
It's
United States
genuine.
back
Yeah.
home, and another man answering and just keeping hanging up. And it's so good because the reaction of the telephone call is so genuine. It's so
And
real,
it's
which is
perfect. It's good. It's
it's
very good
something
for the album.
it's something to look for the next time you watch the film, or if you beautiful pieces of
This would be
audience
great
want
for
to watch the
horror
film.
films. Like to get the best reactions out of the actors, just fucking kill
People
someone
do
in
that.
front of them.
I mean, that's what we call method acting, right? It's just
Yeah,
like putting the
Meta.
actors into the stress of the thing and making them actually live it. Yeah,
straight up.
and yeah, and the Pink Floyd is kind of well known for like grabbing these. They do the same in the Dark Side of the Moon, where they ask random workers in the studio, like the janitors, and they ask them about death, if they are afraid of death, right? And all of them have like a different answer, and they just record that and put the like
Mm.
they sample it and put it in different parts of the album, which is also very very cool. Um, Geniuses, geniuses to say the least. Pink Floyd, Roger Waters as a concept creator, and then shout out to the rest of the bandmates, David Gilmour, Rick Wright, and Nick Mason, for being such crazy amazing musicians.
An
I
applause.
love them. An applause, an applause. 50 years later, an applause. And the big shout out. And
Big
yeah,
shout out.
Like
that's
and
the wall.
subscribe,
That's the wall.
people.
Like and subscribe. This has been episode 27. Bye bye.
27.